Hey everyone, the purpose of this video is to help you sort your student information by mentor group so that you can inform PLT instruction. So go ahead and log into your account and log into the GLT tab. The reason is because that will give you a holistic view of students across all of their courses, and since PLT is aimed to support students in all of their courses, this will be helpful for you. Now, one of the great things about the data tab, which I'm sure you're already accustomed to, is that you can go ahead and sort and see how far ahead or behind students are across the board on their cognitive skills and so forth. However, you are not yet able to sort this by mentor group just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through what that might look like. So go ahead and go to this little icon that looks like a little Excel file. You're going to go ahead and pick one of two things. Okay? The first two are going to be Excel files of the holistic overview and progress of the students across all of their courses. So exactly literally what you see right now. Now the bottom two are going to give you the progress for how every student is doing in every single course. So how is student A doing in math? How is student A doing in history? How is student A doing in English, and so forth? So it is up to you to decide what you want to do. They give you different information, and they allow you to have different sorts of interventions based off of them. So I'm going to go ahead and, in my case, I'm going to go ahead and download both. Right. Once I do that, I would go ahead and let's open up the grade level team file. Great. So you're going to go ahead and see the same data and a couple of additional things for everyone in your course. Now, if you have mentor in the PLP, the mentor designated, then you just need to go ahead and, find yours. And that will go ahead and get rid of everyone else's data. Yep, just go ahead and sort that. However, some of us may not yet have the mentor name in the PLP. In that case, you're going to want to go ahead and get a list of all your mentees and go through and search for their name or their ID or so forth, and then go through and create a different column. I already did this in column Q, and just say, are they my mentee? Yes, 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 yes. The reason you do that is so now you can just sort just for the students. Now I've gotten all of my students. I'm going to go ahead and delete the rest because I do not need them. I only want to see my mentees for now. Okay. Now here is a little trick. See, you'll notice right now that my mentee does not have a little triangle, whereas this one does. That means that if I were to sort my data, this would not follow. So, sure that you refilter. Went ahead and found the filter button, and that will allow you now to make sure that every single column has a triangle, which means that anytime you sort, everything will stay together. All the information will stay together. Now that I have this information, now I can answer a bunch of different questions based on what I'm curious about. Perhaps I'm really curious about the students who haven't passed a content assessment in a while, or maybe they haven't attempted one in a while. So I'm going to go ahead and sort. And, what I would see is that I have these students who have not even taken a content assessment in the last 5 days. And so maybe perhaps those are the students that I want to focus my next PLT on. Perhaps actually I have a different need. Maybe I'm really curious about the students who are significantly ahead right now in their focus areas. Maybe I need to do a check-in with them to make sure they feel like they're getting the resources they need. That is something I can do. Or perhaps I would like to check in with the students who are, either behind, or maybe actually I want to check in with the students who are just right right about to be on track, because hey, if I can get those students passing and then they're so excited and they're on track, maybe that'll change the momentum in my class. So let's say to be on track is 9 focus areas. I would then go ahead and figure out how I'm going to create an experience for either 1 or 2 focus areas behind for these certain students. Now, it's always really helpful while you're doing all of this data analysis and filtering and sorting that you have a place where you store all of this information so that you can write down your action plan for them. So in the folder that was shared with you for professional development, there is a file called Data Action Plan Template. I'm going to go ahead and make a copy. So that I can go ahead and edit this. This is a template that allows you to keep track of the different types of quote-unquote buckets that you are making. And then also to figure out what you're going to do for every single student the next day. So I'm going to go ahead and go here, and one of the groups that I had, it was the students who haven't attempted a content assessment in the past 5 days. Another group that I had, another grouping or another bucket, as some might say, are the students who are 1 to 2 focus areas behind. It was almost on track. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk about why I decided to sort by this grouping and why I want to do something and do a special intervention for them. If when a student hasn't taken the initiative to take an assessment, it may mean they need extra encouragement, they are not feeling confident about what they are learning on the playlist. Perhaps they haven't been engaged and focused during PLT. Perhaps they are stuck and need teacher support. Regardless of the root issue, I want to know why. And if we need an intervention to support their progress. So just a little note to myself. Why would I want to do something extra for this group? And then I need to think about what this group needs and what I am going to do to support these students. And so remember, it wasn't every single student. It was a specific number of students. And so I would like to remember that. So this is for they haven't attempted a content assessment. So I went to column H and I went ahead and sorted it so I could see the students who have not attempted a content assessment in the past 5 days. Grab their names, because I am using hidden data. They are numbers. Go ahead and write those student names in here so I know which students I would like to prioritize and check in with in small group tomorrow. This can serve as a little system for myself so that I am not trying to hold everything in my head. Now, there are a lot of different things that I could do for these students, right? One of the strategies that I could potentially use is I can prioritize these students for one-to-one check-ins. Because maybe, there's a lot of different reasons why they may not have attempted a content assessment for the past 5 days. So perhaps I want them to do a one-on-one check-in. Another thing is maybe perhaps pull these students for a reflection and discussion on their progress. Perhaps what I want to do actually is for them to individually reflect in a little group and try to dig into why they might not be taking content assessment, and then maybe I will go ahead and then build in something afterwards. So this is just one example of a way that I would go ahead and dig into the grade level tab, download the data, and then create a grouping out of that. There are many, many, many other things. Perhaps I want to look at the course, the Excel file by course and dig in and